Hello, this is Tamsin Astor, Chief Habit Scientist and author of the book Force of Habit, Unleash Your Power by Developing Great Habits, published by Mango, due out August 15th, 2018. Today I want to talk a little bit about how you talk to yourself, your ways in which you communicate with yourself. Because one of the things that is so often clear to me as a coach, and one of the things that I've seen in my own personal life and I really see with my clients, is that we often talk to ourselves in a way that is much more cruel and much more negative and much more judgmental than we would ever talk to the people around us, the people that we love, our friends, our clients, our colleagues, the people in our lives, our families. And the way that we talk to ourselves is really important, because what we think, we say, we do, and what we do, we become. So this long connected path of thinking, which starts in the brain, manifests in the kind of life that we lead. So when you think about your mind, your brain has these neurons, and the neurons are connected by axons, which are these little sort of wiggly bits. And the more that you connect two neurons together, the stronger the connection is. And you can think about it like the cable on the outside of the wire of plugging in your cell phone or your computer. That cable has that plastic on the outside. That is the same as what goes on in our brain. And in our brain it's called myelin. And the more that we think in a particular way, talk in a particular way, act in a particular way, the stronger those connections become. So that's why once we've started having negative self-talk, it's really easy to continue with negative self-talk, because that connection is there and we've just strengthened it. So when we want to make that shift, we need to reprogram our mind. One of my mentors calls this neurosculpting. We want to shift the way we think. We want to shape our neuronal landscape, right? We want to sculpt it like a landscaper of our own minds. And we have the ability to do that because the mind is plastic. We used to think the mind was limited, and that when we got to a certain point, it didn't change anymore. We now know that's not the case. We now know that the mind is plastic, and that the more experiences we have and the more we change, the more we can change the way our minds work, which is amazing. So one of the first steps that I strongly believe in practicing here is looking at how you talk to yourself. So for example, if a relationship ended, you might find yourself saying, I'm a failure at love, or I'm a failure at life, or I'm a failure. And that's not going to get you anywhere, because that energy you're just going to keep sending out, and you're going to keep strengthening that negative connection in your mind, and you're going to keep strengthening that energy, and you're going to become this. This is the life you will have. You will fail if you keep saying this to yourself and thinking this to yourself. So the first step is in actually really taking a step back and going, I failed at X. You can say, I failed at this relationship, or I failed at this business endeavor, or I failed at doing a headstand in yoga, whatever it is, right? I failed at X. So you're not making it this blanket statement about who you are and how you engage in the world. You're just specifically describing a particular event. And then the next thing you want to do is rewrite that. So change the way you talk to yourself. Change that particular event. Neurosculpt. Shift that. So start by saying, I'm great at relationships. I'm great at doing headstands. I'm great at running a business. Whatever it is, change it. I am, and the positive affirmation. And then the next stage, the third stage, is you want to look for evidence that supports that. So if it's relationships, for example, look at the positive relationships that you have that have succeeded and that have lasted a long time and produced a lot of joy and beauty, maybe produced children, maybe, created great businesses, created great joy or great love. So step one, you want to start breaking that link by specifically identifying where you went wrong and owning that, but not making it a blanket statement about everything in your life. The second is you want to flip it. You want to create a positive affirmation which shows that that's not the case. And then the third thing is you want to look for positive evidence to support this new affirmation. And then to really make it stick, you want to practice it. How do you practice it? You write it down repeatedly. You stick it up on post-it notes all over your house. You record yourself saying it and listen to it a number of times every day. So there we have it. When you are stuck in negative cycles of self-talk, you can follow this simple pattern to shift and change how you show up and how you talk to yourself, so that you are not as unkind to yourself, and you move through the world with more joy and happiness. Thanks so much for watching.